welcome to our first episode. At dahil unang pagsasama natin to, today I want to teach you the very first food item that really got me to baking. Today, I want to share with you the basics of bread making. Today, we will make pandesal. Dapat malaman sa paggawa ng pandesal at sa pagbe-bake for that matter ay ang lahat ay dapat measured ng sakto. So I will suggest that you invest in a digital weighing scale and not an analog kasi ito specific. So nabibilang niya down to the last 1 gram. Our ingredients, meron tayong bread flour. Bakit hindi all-purpose flour? Because all-purpose flour is too soft. Ngayon, ang importante kapag nagbe-bake ka is that you sift the flour. Kailangan mo siyang salain, number 1, to aerate, to add air to it. Number 2, to make sure na walang ibang nakasamang ingredients. And number 3, to check na walang buo-buo para lahat siya ay pino. So this one is already sifted. Tayo ay magmamasa. We will add all our dry ingredients. Yeast, ito yung pampalsa niya. Ngayon, for you to check kung okay pa yung yeast mo, kung buhay pa siya, meron tayong test. Kailangan natin mag-warm ng water. Kailangan maligam-gam lang siya. Can you warm it, please? Warm enough lang to feed the yeast. And then we will add sugar. Is it warm na, Yaya? Thank you. Lagay mo yung yeast. And then you put a bit of sugar. You stir and then let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes. So see how it looks. Ganyan siya. Diba? Kung buhay pa yung yeast natin, magbo-bloom siya. Meaning, magkakaroon ng parang foam sa ibabaw. Salt for flavor and to preserve it. Ang yeast at ang salt ay hindi pwedeng pagsamahin. Sila ay magkaaway. Dahil papatayin ng salt ang yeast. So, opposite side mo siya lalagay. Okay. So, we put all our dry ingredients together. And then, we will make a well in the middle. Dahil doon natin ilalagay ang ating warm water. Yaya, is it warm na? Thank you. Okay, so sa warm water, we can combine our warm water and egg. Kasi liquid naman na to. And then, you just mix them. And then, little by little, add your water and egg mixture. So ito ang favorite part ko sa paggawa ng tinapay talaga. Ito yung pinakamasarap for me. Yung pagmamasa. Using the hands. Sarap ng buhay na tundo na to. Minamasahe lang. Parang asawa. Wala namang asawa. So, you add your fat little by little. Ang magandang countertop kapag magmamasa ka ng tinapay, dapat wood. Kasi yung wood, because of the friction, may konting init. Ang visual indicators mo, kung okay na yung dough mo, ay 1, kung makinis na siya. 2, meron tinatawag na window pane or bubblegum test. So, you get a piece of dough, tapos bibilugin mo siya at hihilahin. Pag hindi na siya napupunit sa gitna, okay na. Okay na. If it drips in the sides, that's fine, as long as yung gitna hindi. Put it here, at ilalagay natin to sa medyo warm na place. So, in a house, I like putting it on top of the ref. So, we'll let it rise for an hour until it's double in size. Okay, so, ito na ang ating dough after an hour and a half of rising. Hop! Oh, di ba? Dumoble na siya. How will you know kung sapat na yung pag-alsa ng iyong dough? Meron tayong tinatawag na dimple test. Okay, so, you'll poke it. Kapag nag-stick yung daliri mo, I mean yung butas, at hindi siya bumalik, hindi siya pumalag, okay na yan. Okay, so that's the dimple test. And then, now, we deflate. Yan. So, we deflate it. You punch down the dough. And then, you shape it ng square. Para mas madali when you portion it later. But before that, we need to weigh. 1,041. Okay, 1,041. So, 1 kilo and 41 grams. Okay? Now, why is it important na sukatin mo yung timbang niya? Because dito mababase kung ilan yung magagawa mo. Depende sa laki or sa bigat ng bawat tinapay na gusto mo. So, ang ating very trusted calculator, 1,041 divided by 75 grams. 13. So, hahatiin natin ito sa 13 and we will make sure na 75 grams each yung bigat ng dough. Ayan, 75, okay? So, you have to make 13 75-gram balls, okay? So, I put it here, okay? Laki pa. Okay, 75. So, di ba yung mga nasa panaderia, gano'n lang sila maghiwa ng pandesal. Alam na nila yung feeling. Alam na nila yung feeling. Alam nila yung laki ng gramo na sinusukat nila araw-araw. Okay. So, we'll do this for the rest of the dough. And always remember, very important yung order. Okay? Kung sino yung una mong nilagay, na una siya magpahinga, siya ang unang maglalaro. Okay? Siya ang unang mong bibilugin mamaya. So, we made 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 75-gram balls of dough. Tapos meron tayong sobrang 66. May baby for gummy. We bench them. We let them rest. So, this will take mga 10 to 15 minutes. Okay? So, after ng ating benching, yan. So, medyo lumaki siya ng konti, you will notice. Now, it's time to move on to shaping. So, we get this first. Okay, kasi ito yung una natin. Okay? We put a bit of butter or fat or oil, if you want, on your working desk, your table. And then, you shape it. This is how you make pandesal if you want, start mo na tayong bilog. Okay? So, you make a cave, and then, iikot mo lang siya. Circular motion. Just like that. We'll make different sizes kasi we have cheese at meron tayong sardine and feta filling. Tapos gagawa rin tayo ng plain. So, yung plain, siguro gawin natin na medyo oblong ng konti. Okay? So, you just push it on one side. Push it. Okay? Yan. Okay? So, why you need butter? Because, iro-roll mo siya sa breadcrumbs. We have fine breadcrumbs. Okay? Okay, diba? Malapit na siya maging pandesal. Totoo na to. This is it. Okay? Then we get the second one. We put butter again. Okay? Press down. Ikot. Little by little. Until you get a round one. Okay? See? See my hand? It's like this. Let you see lang. So, ang pressure mo, nandito. Kailangan makalock to. Para habang umiikot, it takes the shape of your hand. Okay? Bahaba ng konti. Butter it a little. Pagulungin sa butter para dumikit yung breadcrumbs. Okay? So, di ba we had our first rising? Now, we will have another one. This time, it's called proofing. So, naka-shape na siya, naka-pan na. So, we're done with scaling and shaping and panning. Then, we let it rise a second time. That's called proofing. Proofing is needed para mas masarap yung flavor, mas maganda yung texture niya. Ngayon naman, papalaman na natin ng keso. So, bahagya mo siyang bibilugin. Okay? And then, make a bowl. And then, so, maybe we can put 2 each. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, pwede. And then, fold, 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 fold in. Mukha siyang siopaw, di ba? Pero, seam side down. And then, bibilugin mo siya ulit. Okay? So, ang purpose nito, para mag-lock yung seam or yung tupi sa ilalim. So, our cheese breads. Now, for tricky fillings like this, I suggest that we use an ice cream scooper. Kasi, number 1, mas sukat mo yung timbang ng filling na nilalagay mo. Number 2, mas siksik siya. Ang ice cream scooper, may pang release. Okay? And then, cover. Okay? There. So, after panning, We let it rise a second time. That's proofing. Again, put it on a warm surface to help rising. This should rise mga 30 to 45 minutes. And then on the last 15 minutes, you have to preheat your oven. Preheating is when you turn on the oven and you have to let the temperature reach a certain temperature. You don't bake by just opening the oven, tapos lagay mo, and then set mo sa temperature. You have to wait for that temperature. So, 350 degrees for this should bake mga 15 to 18 minutes. Okay? Ah, lapit na! Oh my! Naamoy niyo ba yung pandesal? Yes! Uso! Wow! There you go! Okay. So, ang ating pandesal, okay, we baked it for 16, 17 minutes. Depende kasi talaga sa oven nyo. And halfway through, we had to switch it, position, tsaka yung babaliktarin mo talaga yung tray para even yung cooking niya. Now, after getting it out of the oven, kailangan natin siyang ilagay sa cooling rack. Okay? Not directly on a countertop or a table because you need air to flow under the pan. Okay? So, we let it stay here 5 minutes lang kasi may tinatawag na cooking through. So, kahit nilabas na natin siya sa oven, dahil mainit pa, naluluto pa siya. Okay? So, to stop that cooking through after 5 minutes, didiretso natin siya sa cooling rack. So, are you ready for some hot pandesal? Yes! Me too! But before that, I want us to start a tradition that before we try the food that we cook, let's have a little sharing first. So, I have what I call Word of the Day. And every episode, I will share one Bible verse, something that we can actually reflect on, especially because it's the weekend already. Okay? So, for our first episode, the verse that I chose is from Matthew 4, verse 4. It says, "It is written, man shall not live on bread alone, but on every word that comes from the mouth of God." So the verse talks about bread, another kind of bread, a more important kind of bread that feeds our needs. So not just our physical, but also our spiritual needs. And of course, that is the Word of God, that we may have that daily, not just every Sunday. On that note, thank you so much for joining me on my first episode, and I hope to see you all again next week. This is About Baking and Cooking with Bettinna Carlos. Have a blessed weekend! Let's eat!